There is a sentence in Ontario's safety training standard that I think about more than is probably healthy. The training provider must ensure that the learner's identity is verified. Ontario Provider Standard for Working at Heights Training, Section 3.8, 9 words, no method. It does not say what evidence satisfies it or what the record has to show. The same 9 words are in the Joint Health and Safety Committee standard. Manitoba says it too. British Columbia requires photo identification before a first aid certificate is issued at all. 3 provinces require it. Not one of them says how. For most of the time that clause has existed, the silence about method did not matter. The instructor was in the room. She could see the person, and she knew whether he stayed for the full 3.5 hours of practical fall protection or left after 90 minutes. Then we moved the training online, and I want to be careful here because I am one of the people who helped move it. Moving training online was a good trade, it just had a price. It put certification within reach of workers 4 hours from the nearest classroom. I do not think the sector made a mistake. I think it made a trade without noticing what was on the other side of it. So let me show you what we found when we went looking. We run a standing audit. We enroll in safety and compliance training under our own names, work through it exactly as any learner would, and record what the provider actually checked. In January, I enrolled in a safety course. The stated length was 24 hours. I was issued a certificate the same day in under 10 minutes. It was verified, it had my name on it, spelled correctly. It offered to post itself to my LinkedIn profile. Nobody asked for identification. Nothing monitored whether a person was at the keyboard. Nothing measured time on task. Nothing in that process would have distinguished me from anyone else using my account. Identity checked? No. Presence monitored? No. Time on task measured? No. Payment processed? Yes. And I want to be precise because it matters. That is not a forgery. It is a real certificate from a legitimate provider issued to the real person named on it by a system working exactly as designed. Nobody committed fraud. Every control in that system worked. None of them was pointed at the learner. This is the part our industry keeps getting wrong. You can put a hologram on a certificate. You can put it on a blockchain, you can make it cryptographically tamper-proof, and you will have built a permanent, verifiable record of an event that nobody witnessed. The UK's National Construction Card Scheme now reports very few fake cards in circulation. Online verification worked. The forgery business largely died. And look at what that same scheme still lists as live fraud in its own taxonomy. Someone knowingly sitting a test on behalf of someone else. Harden the card, and the fraud moves upstream into the training, where the card was never the vulnerability. I would rather use a Canadian example. There is not one that has been through a court, and I am not going to build an argument on a number I cannot source. So here is New York. Manhattan District Attorney, February 2024 and June 2025. A company issued safety certificates to roughly 20,000 construction workers. Undercover investigators bought 40-hour certificates without attending a single class and had them within the hour. The company filed a completed test with the regulator on behalf of an investigator who had never seen the paper. In November 2022, a 36-year-old worker named Ivan Frias fell from the 15th floor of a building and died. The company had certified that he completed 10 hours of safety training, including 8 hours of fall protection. It never trained him at all. The company's president is serving a year. 17,000 active cards were invalidated. Then, the part our sector should sit with. When New York's integrity agency was asked what would have prevented it, it did not recommend a better certificate. An electronic timestamp unique to each trainee. Video and audio recording of the entire class, a sworn statement from each instructor. Cards issued only through the regulator's own system. The buildings department accepted all of it. That is not better paper. That is proof of participation. This August say plainly that self-certification of attendance is not sufficient, and that verification has to capture the learner's identity and the duration of their attendance. So I am not asking you to panic. There is no Canadian number, and I am not going to invent one. I am asking one question. You have carried that obligation since the standard was written. When the training was in a room, a pair of eyes discharged it. Ask yourself honestly, what discharges it now? Prove the hours. Go to provethetraining.com to learn more, where we have put together a comprehensive account of the industry, the gaps, and what to do.